Hi guys, GameTalk Ajax RKC. We thought it would be an easy game, but it wasn't an easy game. EyeJax, before we start talking, just for our fans, usually we'll be on location. You're not feeling too good. How are you feeling now, man?
I'm all right, but I have a little bit of a cold. No corona though, so don't worry, guys. But still have to be cautious to not give it to other people, even though it's just a flu or a cold. But I'm feeling okay. Let's do this, man.
All right. So listen, man. Actually, there's nothing going on. You know, first half we're controlling the game basically, especially after the 2-0. Haller, two beautiful goals. The first goal was a nice team goal. The second goal was a really nice individual quality goal from Haller. We're going into the break. Honestly, I thought the second half would be just, you know, like maybe 3, maybe 4, just easy game, you know. Going into the Cambuur game next week, we can relax a little. No games until Friday. And then, I mean, I don't know how you saw that second half, but I was just, I didn't know what I was watching, to be honest. So please give us your reaction on the game and your thoughts.
Yeah, that first 20 minutes I thought wasn't that great, Juan. But after that, we started playing better, and I was happy with what I saw from the team. A few beautiful attacks, 2 tap-ins from the tap-in King Haller. No, just joking. The second one was beautiful, but yeah, I was quite happy with the second part of the first half, you know, and. In the second half, they just kept attacking all out, and they just got countered. And you seriously have to think about what will happen if you play against Benfica with more quality players. Because let's be honest, we got outrun by Michiel Kramer.
Yeah,
you know that is even Blind is faster than him. You know, so this is really that baffles me a lot. And I got some flashbacks from the Tottenham game, while we were also ahead, you know, and we just kept attacking and attacking and attacking. And you see with our defense now that if we are so high up our own half, we can get countered even against RKC. So you have to have some players in the back that keep the balance, and it wasn't there today with this counter attacks, you know. And we actually got quite lucky because this guy that the guy on the left side that made the second goal, you know, with the assist, that Blind, Ranch, and Schuurs all went to one player and just forgot about the whole other players from RKC, you know, that just went like with 3 people at the same time. This guy also shot at the end at the goal when Onana was like at the far end of the 16. So we couldn't even go behind, you know, like 2-3. So it baffles me a lot, and it also worries me because against Benfica, against an opponent with a lot more speed and a lot more quality, they will punish us if we play like this.
Look, of course, we're relieved about the 3 points, right? We'll come to that later. But I want to ask you something. I mean, I have to be a bit critical because if you're 2-0 up against RKC, with all due respect, it's crazy playing in the arena even, you know, at home to let them come back to 2-2. And not even that. Actually, they had a chance to score 3-2, but the guy didn't shoot the ball, which I thought was a good, clever move from him because otherwise we could have been in trouble. Look, the thing I want to ask you, right? It's very evident now to see that, okay, we don't have Masraoui, we don't have Timber. We didn't have Timber against Go Ahead, if I'm not mistaken, but we had him against AZ. Now we don't have Timber again. Have we become so dependent on these 2 players at the back? Is that the problem, or do you think it's something else?
No, I think it's also something else. I do miss Timber today because he is also a lot. Yeah, he's so calm all the time, you know, in the defense and the way he just solves the problems. He and Martinez are complementary to each other. And I almost only saw him make a mistake against PSV, you know, when he lost the ball at the right side. But other than that, he is always so composed, and you just see that there is a lot more like nervousness in the team when he's not playing. And this worries me a bit because Schuurs did quite okay today. It wasn't the greatest match, but he wasn't definitely not one of the worst performers today. But there's a lot more, yeah, how do you say it? He's not as calm as Timber is. So he's not as composed, and you can see this in the whole team, in the whole defense, that it's a unit. We're not as solid as when Timber plays. And this is something that worries me because you can see if one of those 3 players like Martinez, Alvarez, Timber isn't there, the unit as a whole also isn't performing as well as they do together. So this is something that we need to solve, because you cannot always rely on those same 3 players.
Yeah, but why? How does it? How can you explain the fact? I mean, that's my opinion, of course. But how can you explain the fact? You said Schuurs wasn't that bad. I agree with you. I thought the first half he was okay, but in the second half, of course, he was playing one-on-one at the end, but he looked shaky. And the same goes for Rens. Rens has been shaky now for a couple of times. How do you explain that? How can we go from Timber Mazraoui and then have such a huge drop in confidence level at the back? And again, I'm not blaming them, just to be clear, I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying that if you compare Rens, for instance, with last year, he's nowhere near that level.
Yeah, I keep repeating myself, but because it all has to do with the minutes that they get during the season, you know, and Ten Hag not rotating enough is also part of the problem. And players feel less confident as players that play all the time. And today is a great example again. Blind, he had a terrific pass in the first goal, because he just moved up the play very fast with the one-touch pass. That was very important. But the rest of the game, he was quite bad. He headed the ball away in a difficult manner when the first counter-attack came, because the way he headed it, it went between the 2 defenders and they could counter, they could make that pass, you know. Schuurs still should have won against Kramer, in my opinion, but that was a problem. It all started with a bad header from Blind. Second goal also, Rens was covering that defender. How is it possible that Schuurs and Blind both go to the same defender, making it a 3-1, and just leave the middle open at all? You know, and Blind was the closest one to Onana. Blind, with his experience, because he's not fast, he's not a pure defender, you know, like a tough defender. He should be smarter in these situations. And he went like, without any thoughts, he went to the side to back up Rens, and Schuurs did the same. And actually, I thought he played quite a bad game, and it baffles me that Ten Hag eventually subs Nico in, and then move him to the right side and just takes out Rens. In my opinion, Rens might have been shaky, but he wasn't as bad as Blind today. And he just kept him Blind and let him play on the right side. And maybe his thought was, okay, we need to press. And you saw it also in the second half. Blind was moving more to the midfielder position. So I can imagine maybe leaving him in there, because he can create something with the pass, with one pass, and maybe put somebody free in front of the goal. But still, he was playing a bad match, and you should have the balls to just stop him.
Yeah, look, it's again, I touched upon this before, right? I mean, we play go-ahead Eagles. Usually, let's be honest, every team we have to take seriously, but we lost to go-ahead Eagles last week. We didn't expect that. We played AZ midweek. We were, I mean, attacking-wise, maybe not the best, but we still won comfortably 2-0. Defensively, we were very mature. We didn't really have any problems. Then we go to RKC. You would think coming from that game, no issues, no problem. We learned from our mistakes. So, EyeJax, I know it's very difficult, right? But we have Cambuur on Friday. I mean, is it going to be a repeat? Is this team showing tiredness? Are we tired? Are we getting tired as a team, as a unit? Or is it the lapse of concentration? How do you see that?
I think it's also a lack of being lethal in front of the goal. Because if you see today that we already in the 17th minute, there was a stat, I think, 16th or 17th minute in the game, that we had 31 shots against 4 of RKC, sorry. And we only scored twice. So that's not even like 10%, you know, it's like 6% of all shots became a goal. Mm-hmm. And we have to be sharper than that. And also Ten Hag needs to learn that if he's up 2-0, you do not have to attack all the time. Be more patient. Make the ball go around a little bit more, you know. You're 2-0 up. Today we got punished because we went all out again. And against these teams, you have to do that if you're 0-0, because we went to teams that are, with all due respect, small teams in the league, and we had a difficult time or even drop points. Then you have to go all out, because you have to get those 3 points. But it wasn't that necessary today, because you were 2-0 up in halftime, you know. So it has to do with tactics also. And I keep repeating myself. Ten Hag is lacking a plan B, even when we're 2-0 up ahead. It's like we can only play one type of football, you know, and today it showed again. We got countered, and we just keep doing the same and the same. And luckily, we got saved by the defender of RKC, making that foul in the penalty box on Anthony. Otherwise, you would have dropped points again, and you would have been tied with PSV in the first spot, you know, and only because we have a better goal scoring. We scored more goals than we would have been first, but it's just difficult. And all the big games this season in the competition we win, against the smaller teams we just drop points, and it's baffling, you know. And it has to do with the coach. He has to come up with solutions, and he has to be more creative. He's getting mentioned at Manchester United and stuff, you know. Do you think in the Premier League he can do like he does at Ajax, you know, with only these tactics and not being able to turn it around? It's a more difficult competition. He has to evolve himself as a manager, and I'm missing that with him at the moment, and for years actually.
Yeah, look, last thoughts. We're going into Cambuur, then we have Benfica waiting for us, and after Benfica we have Feyenoord. I mean, we only have 9 games left in the eredivisie. It's the final stage of the season. Are you like, okay, you know what, these matches, you can also say you have these type of matches during the season, or are you a little bit worried going into these games? Where do you stand?
I always try to think positive, you know, and I'm still confident we're the best team in the competition, and we will get the championship in the end, especially because we performed well against most of the bigger teams in the league, you know. So they have to just perform against the smaller teams, and it's difficult for me to point out where the problem lies, if it's motivation, if it's the coach, if it's the players themselves, you know. I cannot really point out this is the one thing that's wrong at the moment, but they have to bring more in these kind of games, and if they do, I'm confident that we will win the championship, because in all great and bigger matches this season we almost won all of them. So we just have to finish off these against these smaller teams, and we have to be more cautious, defending also a little bit our lead, you know, especially if you're 2-0 up. But for now, let's just hope we do better against Benfica, and then it's just one game at a time. And we've learned from last seasons that we can build momentum. Now we're a little bit shaky, and we think, oh, is this a crisis? Are we performing not well at the moment? And then we play 3, 4, 5 matches well, you know, and then everybody's saying, oh, they're a machine, they're playing so well. So it's a thin line, you know, and I'm still being confident on a positive outcome.
EyeJax, thanks, man, and get well soon.
Thanks.